Hi there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to TGIF Talks, episode 199. I'm your host, Dr. Sheep, joined by my guest, Nate, the fearsome rhino.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Alright, we'll start the old... Too many... The fact that you can share OBS is insane. The sharing OBS thing, that's new. They didn't used to do that. But whatever.
Technically, this application should be there like to help people out who are trying to fix their issues with OBS, stuff like that.
Oh my god. I was trying to stream yesterday, and OBS was like, no, I don't really want to do that. You don't have internet connection. And I'm like, bruh, what are you talking about? Apparently, you have to connect OBS to your YouTube account, otherwise it won't stream. You used to not have to do that, but now you have to do that. And, yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't want to have to do that, but I didn't have a choice. So, that was fun.
Yeah.
But anyways, you asked...
You learn something new every day.
Yeah. You asked, for the viewers, you asked before we started, why is this the last one? Well, I'm done. I'm done with YouTube.
You done?
Done. I'll still make vlogs, and I'll still stream every once in a while. Of course, it was 8 months since the last stream that wasn't like 1,000 subscriber special. So, the streams are pretty inconsistent. But I'm done. I'm pursuing other ideas, other projects, and YouTube is, I'm done. I couldn't do it anymore. Most of it was, I had a list of ideas.
YouTube's not meant for everybody.
What?
I said YouTube's not meant for anybody. Everybody.
No, it's not. I had a list of ideas, and the list just kept getting shorter and shorter and shorter. I was just like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do when that eventually hits 0. So I'm just like, we'll just kill it before it gets there, And Buck was like, oh, you telling me you were complete out of ideas? I'm like, no, there was scripted video ideas, but I hate scripted videos. I stopped doing scripted videos because they take so much goddamn work.
Oh, I do.
Because I have to, at least in your videos, if you do a scripted video, it's at least, you're just writing dialogue and coming up with a plot. That's not too difficult. I have to research, make sure the facts are correct, and then reword it so that I'm not just copying and pasting a wiki article, rewording it in a way that also just sounds better and makes more sense for most people to read, or listen to anyways, and sounds good to say. But then also when I'm simplifying it or making it metaphors or similes, that those make sense and that it is correct. And that I'm taking the information and properly wording it correctly to the people. And that... oh, it takes forever. And that's just the writing. That's not even to say, then you have to go and record it, which in that case, recording isn't that hard. The problem you're going to run into is, how do I make the video interesting? It's not just me lecturing to these people. And in a scripted video, it's just a lot of lecture. So it's just like, bro. So I favored just projects and, experiments. That way I didn't have to write a script. But.
Hey, I don't blame you whatsoever.
Yeah.
I've been dabbling a little bit more into the script writing stuff myself. I'm actually getting ready to launch a new YouTube channel.
Oh.
With where basically it's all about the historical facts about companies and stuff like that.
Like Company Man?
I don't know who that is, to be honest with you.
You look him up on YouTube. After this, and you'll know. Company Man is, I used to watch his videos back in the day. He'd make a whole, video expose on, a product, and why that product went away. So, he had a whole video on Oreos. Because I don't know if you remember, but those used to be a thing way back in the day.
Oh, I remember.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I never remember quite how much younger you are than me, so it's hard to remember.
I'm only 21.
Okay, that's not bad.
Not by much.
No. Although it is enough sometimes where it's like, oh yeah, I remember this thing. And it was like, my coworker's like, huh? What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, that's right. You're all a bunch of freaking children. And you realize, oh yeah, 24. I'm old now.
Yeah, I said that. What was it? Yeah, actually, last Friday I said that when I finally turned 21.
Well, happy birthday. Congratulations. How does it feel to be able to drink legally?
You know, the funny part is I've yet to do it.
I heard that happens sometimes. You get busy and you're just like, I don't have time to drink. I don't have money to drink.
Oh, the money ain't that big of an issue anymore, but the time, like
You're running a business.
You gotta prep in that time for the hangover as well. And I still got the time for the hangover.
See, nobody accounts for the hangover.
Exactly. I'm trying to at least count for the hangover.
Oh man, that was a video idea of mine to see if we could cure a hangover. Except the thing was, I didn't drink. I still don't drink, and so I had to convince my cousin to drink on demand, and he didn't want to do that. He also never told me I always forget he has a really weak stomach, and so he couldn't drink enough to get drunk. So,
I mean, we could go get Buck and get him drunk and see if we can cure it like that.
Yes. Because the thing was, it's like we have to. Yeah, we were gonna get it. Was all for a podcast too. We were doing it on podcast. It just didn't work. He just didn't like the idea of him being the only one drunk. I also bought him the cheapest gin possible. We don't talk about that.
You gonna get him drunk? You gotta give him at least little bit of good stuff, like the mediocre.
I was looking to save money on this project. Don't save money on gin. First of all, he had never had gin, and the first gin he ever had is the worst gin you could possibly buy. Yeah. So he's like, it tasted like a 2x4. I'm like, I wonder why. So we Googled it, and then we realized it's made from a literal pine tree, and we're like, yep. That explains it. Well, a juniper tree, which is a type of pine tree. Well, I don't know, type of coniferous tree, if you will, which is similar to a pine tree, but they're not the same.
It's a type of tree.
The type of tree. It's all coniferous. They're all coniferous. There we go. There you go. That answers the question. But no. So he got. Yeah, we didn't get very far. But anyways, no. So yeah, I'm done. I'm moving on to greener pastures, if you will. Trying to.
Can't blame it there.
It was weird. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to turn my brain off for video ideas, and for the most part, or thinking like in YouTube things all the time. But for the most part, I have been able to do it. Apparently, I must have turned that part of my brain off a long time ago. There was one idea I had. Unfortunately, I can't do said idea. And that idea was sleeping outside for 100 days. Hello?
Nah, you couldn't convince me.
He couldn't convince you?
I was thinking, nope, I'm good. I like my mattress too much.
I was just, well, you could sleep on an air mattress. I was just like, okay, what would be really cool is, so you do the first, if you were a full-time YouTuber or had a house, how would you do this? And I thought, okay, even if I wasn't a full-time YouTuber, I guess you just have to every night come home and just sleep in a tent. You'd save some money on electricity, I guess. Well, yeah, and some gas. Of course, the winter's going to be brutal. So what I was thinking, how you would do it, I think the best part would be maybe build just like a cabin, slowly build a cabin. You'd have to have like a wooded area behind your house though, with lots of trees that you can go and chop down, so you can build a little cabin you can sleep in, but I don't know. I don't know how. Otherwise, you just be sleeping in a tent, which would suck. But maybe that's the whole point of the challenge, is to build a house. Challenge! Sleep outside for 100 days. During the 100 days, you build a house to sleep in.
It's kind of like that TV show. What was it called? Like Naked and Afraid.
Oh, God. I remember that show. I wasn't a big fan of it. I like Survivor Man.
Yeah, Survivor Man was pretty good. I like the one where there's just two dudes that would like on purposely go get lost in areas that would be real life situations.
Well,
Those I preferred.
yeah, I like the. Do you remember? I liked Man Woman Wild. It was a couple that would go, and
I didn't. I've never seen that one.
oh, that was a good show. I liked that one. Because she wasn't as well. Okay, I say I liked it, but they still partaked in things you're not supposed to do, which is they drank each other's pee when they were in the desert. And every survival expert's like, you're not supposed to do that. Because it would be more dangerous. It's more dangerous to do that than it is to just not.
Well, yeah, just because like the sodium levels, I mean, it'll dry you out faster.
Well, yeah, and the bacteria. You're just letting all that crap back into your body that you're trying to get rid of.
Yep.
So, don't do that. I will say that's when you gotta like bring like a some sort of distiller.
How about let's say like this: just don't get lost.
Don't get lost. Oh yeah, it's easier said than done. I've gotten lost before. But no, so no. Anyways, you may be wondering, what the hell am I gonna do if I'm not doing YouTube? Hello?
Yeah, I wonder. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to be a writer, or attempt to, anyways.
Are you going to write a book?
I'm working on one right now. 37,000 words in. Haven't worked on it in a few weeks. Well, I was working on it there for a while. I haven't worked on it. We was taking a bit of a break before I head on. I'm actually at a part of the book where I'm really excited to write. I just, I don't know. I'm in a Minecraft kick right now. But, I got Veterans Day off, so, maybe I'll spend the day writing.
Oh yeah, I've been playing a ton of Farming Simulator 25 here lately.
Right. That was going to be one of the next topics after retirement or quitting or whatever the hell you want to call it. I call it retirement, even though I didn't make any money and I wasn't particularly successful at it. And that was FS25.
Quitting your hobby.
Quitting my hobby. Yeah. Well, it's, yeah. I'm just not going to be, I did say maybe sometime if I think of a video that would be interesting to do, maybe I would make a video about it. If it would be easy and free to make, like sleeping outside. But of course, I don't have the facilities for that. Could just go out into the... Yeah, no, it wouldn't work. Wouldn't work. Be homeless for 100 days. Oh, man, I'd save a lot of money. That'd be for sure, but... I'd stink at work. You'd have to find a way to shower.
Yeah, they would.
I guess you could go to a truck stop, but these are expensive. They're like $12 for a shower or something stupid. I'm like...
Unless you fill up with, unless you fill up at truck stops, like your gas tank or like that. So, like, where I live on the edge of town, so I end up most of the time at a truck stop to fill up. And since I end up at a truck stop to fill up, I have a rewards card with those truck stops, so I have a bunch of free points for for showers and stuff like that I'll never use.
Oh, yeah. See, we were out in Arizona, Might have been in New Mexico by that point. Can't. No, we were still in Arizona. Because we attempted to camp in a national park, and that's when I got lost. But anyways, so we needed to take a shower, and so we tried looking for places to shower, and they were freaking expensive, and we're like, what the hell? It was actually more than like $10. It was so much to the point where I did the math, and I'm like, for all three of us to take a shower, we could almost just get a hotel room. I was like, what the? So I was just like, do we just sneak all three of us into the room and just turn our backs to the corner while the other showers? Because there's no time limit. I mean, there is a time limit, but like you can get showered in the time limit they give you. You can three people can shower pretty quick.
That's yeah. Well, that's what we did, and when my father was a truck driver and stuff like that, so that's why I'm a little bit experienced with those. That's what me and my father would do. Is he would take a shower, and when they would have it kind of blocked off where there's like a little sitting area in those truck stops.
Yeah.
And so I would sit there, play on my phone, and wait on him. Then I would go shower.
All using the same like payment. You don't have to pay twice. But yeah, but God, it was just like. So we ended up just being like, you know what? We didn't really. I mean, I sweat a lot, but it was so dry, the sweat really didn't accumulate anywhere, and so we didn't really smell. And we weren't. All we were doing all day was driving. We were just driving all day. We weren't stopping anywhere. We were just driving. 8 hours of solid driving. So we just said screw it, and we drove all the way to Colorado. I don't remember where the hell we stayed. We drove all the way through New Mexico, up into Colorado. That was a wild day. That was a interesting day. But, yeah, so, no, I worked on a book. And it was funny, I have people ask me what the hell the book's about. And there for a while, I didn't know what the hell to say. And so I was just like, well, it's kind of difficult to explain. But then I realized, I was like, Doc, you're writing a book. You want people to read said book once you're finished. You need to, pitch the freaking book. So you got to figure out how to say what the hell the book's about. And so I was like, all right. So I thought about it. I was like, oh my God, I literally tell you what the hell the book's about in the preface. So I can just reword what the preface says. Basically, the book is about how small changes, small things can... Why? I think it's just Discord. Sorry, I'm like, why am I blurry? But I think it's just Discord. Anyways, how small things can add up to big changes and consequences. How one small decision can have, branching out effects. Thus, the butterfly effect, which is how the story gets its name. But I don't want to give away the story name because, I don't want somebody else to use it before I'm finished. Not that anybody will watch this and go, I'm going to write a book before he can finish his. Not that they would.
Hey, better be safe than sorry.
Right. So, no, yeah, that's what the book's about. It was originally supposed to be a short story collection. Now it's just a novel with the chapters are just short stories, because it's going to be, I was like, oh yeah, short story collection. I Googled it. It's like, oh yeah, 50,000 words. That's easy peasy. That's not hard to write. And then I finished the first story and it was so damn long. And then I wrote the second story and it was even longer. So now I'm on to the third story and I'm just like, yep, it's just going to be a novel. A very long novel, actually. It's going to be a thick ass book. But that's all right. Or maybe it'll get split up into two books. I don't know where. I guess I do know of a place you could. No, I really don't know where you'd split it. Well, there's like one spot. I'd have to. I don't know if I'm. It really depends, because like they time jump all the stories. Like I try to put them in chronological order, but sometimes you have to time jump because they happen at the same time other stories are happening. Not that and those two stories don't necessarily interact. They actually branch back to a single point in a previous story. If this is all making sense, I don't know how much this is making sense.
When you're done with it, are you going to reach out to some book publishers to see if you can get it
Absolutely,
published?
absolutely. I really want to publish. I think that'd be really cool. I really hope I can publish a book before my high school reunion in 2028. I think that'd be really cool. And everybody's asking me, I said, "Oh, what'd you do with your life? The last 10 years." Like, "Oh, I published a book. Yeah, I'm a published author." Because I do know there was a kid in my class who literally went to school to be a writer. I don't know if she's going to be a novelist. Probably end up being a journalist. She's getting a master's right now, or she's about to finish it. I think she's about to finish it, or just got it. I don't know. I don't know what else she's doing. Uh, and I was like, well, what if I can finish a book? I think that'd be interesting. I don't have a degree. I don't have a degree for that, but I think it'd be funny. It was the other funny part I thought about the whole experience, especially with that person. Yeah, because she went to school to be for writing. I don't know if she's going to be a writer. She just went to school for writing. She went to a school. She had to actually get a good. She had to take the writing ACT portion of the ACT, and we all did because our school decided to. Our state decided to fund the ACT instead of having standardized testing. They said, okay, just take the ACT. We'll cover the cost for the first time. But you're going to have to take the writing portion because, well, some students will need the writing portion of the ACT, and the state's like, we want to cover that. Really, really cool idea. They even covered John Baylor test prep, which I hated with a passion because it took away a study hall. I'm like, this is less useful than a study hall. Dumb. Anyways, she didn't do so hot and had to retake it, the writing portion. You know who got the highest score in writing? I don't know what happened after she retook it, but you know who got the highest score in writing in our class? Me.
Hey, that's not bad.
Granted, there were a lot of people that got there's another person that got an 8. But her average of an 8 was lower than my average. Because she had like 7s and 8s, but no 9s to get an average of 8, or maybe she had to have 1 9. But anyways, my average was just 8s and 9s. I didn't have any 7s. There were other people with like 9s in their parts, but nobody had that high of an average between all the categories within the writing section. And I was just like, how the hell did that happen? Everybody was like, writing, oh, damn it. Whatever. Anyways, they're like, Doc, your writing sucks. And I'm like, well, according to the writing ACT, like maybe they just didn't maybe they couldn't read it. I don't know. They were just like, give this kid a high score. I don't know. I don't even remember. I had to write about AI in machines and robots taking jobs. I remember that. That was the prompt, because the prompt they give you for the ACT writing is a really weird abstract prompt. We actually had chances to practice for it, which I did. It wasn't for John Baylor, but just through our English class, because she's like, you're not gonna be this prompt is weird. It's unlike any prompt you've ever had. Yeah, it was a weird prompt.
Yeah,
huh?
See, I was never good about being creative and with the prompts and stuff like that. I was never good at that.
Oh, I hated prompts. I was just like, I felt like I could be more creative without a prompt than I could with a prompt. However, I missed the prompts a little bit. I feel like now.
For me,
huh?
I said, see, for me, I just wasn't creative at all when I was young. Like, I wasn't creative whatsoever, and now look at what I do for a living.
Now you're the creative type. It's your job.
I don't know about creative type, but I'm forced to be creative now.
Forced to be. See, you don't want to be forced to be creative because when you're forced to be creative, burnout happens really fast. Trust me, I know.
Well,
That's
as long as you
basically what
still
happened with
enjoy what
YouTube.
you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It was just, I don't know. I wasn't getting the recognition, so I just gave up. Also, I just realized I was good at. Yeah, I just wasn't good enough. I think the problem was. But no, that whole thing was the prompts. I wish I could go back. The prompts. I missed the prompts. But anyways, no. But this prompt, I think the stars just aligned. It was a prompt where I just knew a lot. I knew I could write a pretty good. I don't even know argument. I don't know. I don't know what the hell it was. I really don't remember. It had something to do with AI and robots. I remember that. Uh, but when we got it, I was just like, I knew I was like, oh my god, I could write. I could write something about this. And maybe that's why I got a higher grade, is because most people are like, I don't know what to write about this. And I was like, oh yeah, this is something I'm good with. And then, I just had to, and then maybe there were other kids that knew about it too, but they just weren't good enough. They just weren't as good of writers. And so I was still probably pretty decent. I just have grammar issues. Otherwise my content is fine. It's my grammar issues I have problems with. But putting ideas on paper, no problem. And so maybe that. So I just had to be good enough, and they were like, "Man, this guy had a good idea, good concept. Who knows? Who knows?" But anyways, on to the second part here. It went a little longer than I thought on the first part. Always happens. FS25. Thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, aspirations, conundrums.
So, when does this air?
It will air Friday.
Okay, so all of my embargoes are done then.
Yep.
By then. So, thoughts and feelings, and a lot of it can't be truly answered yet until I do get some updates and stuff like that. There's a lot of information that we're missing from Giants. I've had a really good time talking and working with Giants. They actually did me a good favor and gave me 2 copies of the game early. And
Yeah, Buck had a bunch of them. But he was Buck had early access too. But he was talking. He wasn't too. He didn't like the. They were all like through the Giants store, and he was like, I don't know what good this does me. And I'm like, oh, you can transfer that to Steam. He's like, really? And I'm like, you're supposed to be able to. That's what Farmer Cop says, because he was trying to get people to pre-order the game so they get the MacDon pack for free. And he was just like, yeah, pre-order it. He's like, I know it won't be through, whatever site you use, Epic, Steam, whatever, but you should be able to transfer it to Steam. Supposedly.
Interesting. I've never heard of that.
I haven't believed him, so I didn't pre-order. So. Because I'm actually kind of excited for FS25. It looks interesting. Looks better in some regards.
So FS25 is in my opinion, with the ground deformation, all that stuff that they've added into the game is absolutely beautiful. They did an amazing job on the maps. Everything honestly came out better than you would expect.
Okay.
But now to the issues.
Oh boy. All right.
And please remember, and for people watching this is recorded before the day 1 patch still, so I can't really speak too much on it. But we are missing there's so many bugs.
Of course.
There's way too many bugs for us to keep working sometimes.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
What kind of bugs? What's one of the worst ones?
So I do a lot of dedicated multiplayer servers.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Go on.
There's a bunch of. So the single player looks like there's little to no bugs.
Okay, cool.
Multiplayer, which is what I do mainly, especially on dedicated servers, there is. So right now there's a bug where you really can't do rice.
Oh.
Well, you can, but it pops up on like you get like an annoying little warning sign on your screen the entire time saying you must. This needs to be planted in a rice paddy, even though you're in a rice paddy.
Huh. Interesting.
Um, So yeah, it's just annoying stuff like that. There's a tractor. I said this on stream. There's a tractor right now that if you get inside of it in the dedicated server, it will spawn you under the ground.
Oh, cool. Oh, nice. The whole tractor
So
you can't use. What tractor is
yeah.
that?
So, right now it's a Case Magnum, but I've heard rumors that there's a few more tractors that do it as well.
No, not the Magnum. No, I like the Magnum.
So, but I imagine all that really should be fixed by day one match.
Okay.
So once all that's kind of fixed, then I'll be able to give an honest, true opinion on the game and stuff like that. It's just I gotta wait for these bugs to get fixed. They fixed a lot of stuff. Pallets are a lot easier to move now. They actually work a lot better.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, I think the problem with
it's
pallets.
a good game.
I think the problem with pallets
What?
always was there was no weight to them. It didn't. The game didn't feel like there was any weight. Same with hay bales.
So there was weight. So in 22 there definitely was a lot of weight to them.
Okay, because
But
19
what
there was
going
no
on
weight.
is like the mechanics to the pallets for some reason, like if you had your forks all the way on the pallet, they would get stuck on the pallets. Like
Oh.
they'd get stuck on the pallets would get stuck on the forks really easily, and so that's just what was so frustrating about it. But now that that's not what I've seen slash what I've experienced about the game, that's not being an issue anymore, really.
Okay. Because I
And
always
then, of
felt
course,
like in 19 picking up a pallet was a pain in the butt. Because you'd go to do it and if you backed up and turned too quick, it would just fly off the end of your forks. They don't do that anymore, right?
I don't know.
Oh. Because this is
I
I'm
haven't
trying
really
to do
had that
things
I
quickly.
really haven't experienced that.
Oh. Because I was trying to do things quickly and it just felt like they would just fall off too easily. I'm like, really? This is the world I'm going to live in? Yeah, luckily 19. Luckily, I never played 22, but luckily 19 never had any. There were no productions because pallets were not. They were not a great thing to work with.
Oh yeah. Well, and then so there is one more graphic complaint that I know I can make, and a lot of other people can make as well, and that is going to be your good old fashioned not enough American equipment.
Oh, it never is. It's always going to be European.
There's like 10% American equipment and like 90% European.
Really? Because all the Case IH tractors and all the John Deere stuff, that's all American.
No, John Deere and Case actually both make European equipment as well.
Ah, so they put the European equivalents in there instead of the American?
For some of them, yep.
For some of them, great. What's is the 9RX the most powerful tractor in there, or is it or the Quad RX where they have or is the Case Quad track? I don't remember.
715 Case Quad track.
Oh, okay, the Quad track still is, okay. Because there was a debate when they released one of the 9RXs, the big one. They were like, oh yeah, this will be the most powerful tractor in the world, but I don't know, you couldn't get any reliable.
I don't think they put that tractor into it yet.
Oh, they haven't.
I don't think they put the new tractor into the game yet. So.
Oh, that tractor's been out for years. Apparently, I don't know. I don't know how many farmers actually bought $1 million tractor. Those things were a grind to get to in the game. That was my thing. I didn't buy any intermediate sized tractors. I eventually did buy an intermediate sized John Deere tractor, because I needed the largest. I wanted to get the largest tractor possible that I could put a front loader on, and I've determined it was some John Deere one. And that thing became the workhorse of my farm in 19. But when I wasn't using a quad track. Otherwise, I had a whole fleet of quad tracks. Because it was just like, might as well. Right? Because it was just like, what it was like, okay, it was, I spend, another few hours grinding to get another $100,000, or I stop here and just get a tractor that won't be able to pull my giant air drill. So I just spent another few hours grinding and get another $100,000.
Oh yeah.
But I figured out you could just do soybeans, and none of it mattered. That was fun. Just soybeans. You never had to put any nitrogen down, and they eventually, though, they patched it where, because like, you could keep planting soybeans and get the nitrogen levels up high enough to where you could plant corn, but eventually they patched to where it didn't do that anymore. In 19, I was upset when they did that.
Which I don't like that.
That you can't just keep grinding soybeans until the nitrogen's high enough?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's realistic. You shouldn't just be able to do that, but I don't know. It upset me because then all I was just stuck.
Farmers do that in real life.
Oh, well, then why the hell am I stuck? Well, yeah. So then, yeah, why did they stop me from doing it? This is a real life bug you have to fix.
Well, like, you gotta realize, farmers in real life, if you realize a lot of people who plant corn also plant soybeans.
Yeah.
Soybeans do put nitrogen back into the ground.
Oh, yeah. I studied her.
That's why, like, who was it? And the only reason, and I mean, everybody can go fact check me. I may be wrong on this, but the only reason I know this for a fact is because there's a YouTuber known as Welper Farms. They were talking about how they plant wheat and soybeans, and they prefer to plant wheat, but the reason they plant soybeans is to put the nitrogen back in the ground so they're not spending so much on nitrogen for the wheat.
I don't know how. Wheat farming, I watch Clarkson's Farm on Amazon Prime. And so they're big wheat farmers and barley farmers over there in the UK. And oh my God, it is it sounds like such a stressful thing, because, if you don't get, pasta or bread quality wheat, you're not going to make any money. At least in the UK. Maybe in the US it's a little bit better since the scaling's a little larger. And maybe the price of bread isn't as high, and so it's not as big of a loss if you have to sell it as cattle feed. But I was just like, holy shoot, like, how would you, like, if the weather isn't right, if it doesn't dry just right, you're doomed.
Well, a lot of that has to do with what seed they planted. So there's lots of genetically modified seed out there.
Right.
And they genetically modify it to do what we need it to do for farmers. So it all depends on what kind of seed you're planting. Like, are you planting the Pioneer variety, decaf, or so on and so forth.
So, well, maybe then they're just, in the UK, they're, since everybody's big anti-GMO, maybe they're just having to plant just kind of crappier varieties. And so they're really dependent on the weather.
I can actually go ahead and tell you right now, there's not a single crop in the world.
Well, I know. Genetically engineered. Let's say that.
Well, no, I'm just telling you, there's not a single crop in this world that is not genetically engineered.
Well, okay, so there is I will say, hold on, I'm not an anti-GMO person but there is a difference between GMO and GEO. So a GMO is a genetically modified organism. That is actually everything the humans, every time a human comes into contact with a crop, basically that thing is now genetically modified, because we are selecting traits that we want to be passed down. So if you select, well, these plants produce the most wheat. I want to take their seeds and plant them for next year, and then I will just process the stuff that didn't produce a lot. That's genetically modifying. Genetically engineering is where you actually go in and change the genetic code with like CRISPR or other genetic processes, and that is genetically engineered, and that's the things that people are actually scared about, but people just don't understand that there's a difference between a GMO and a GEO. And so when people say, oh,
So,
GMO or GEO, and they use them interchangeably, no, they're two different things. Every crop in the world, as you said, is genetically modified. All of them are. Literally every single one of them. The minute you start
so
picking this to pass on this, it's genetically modified. Genetically engineered, you might be able to find them. Might. Most are probably genetically engineered anymore, but there are probably a few that are
did
not.
you know bananas are genetically engineered?
Yes, they don't produce seeds. They're all clones of each other, which is why bananas
Oh,
are going might go extinct this century if we're not careful, because we only have one variety left, and that's the variety we currently grow, and there's a disease wiping them out slowly.
yeah.
I went to I did I was in horticulture in college. I took in lab, and so I did all kinds of research about.
Oh yeah.
I also did an entire. It was for. I did GMO. I did a whole research paper on geos for a trade class, because it was one of the big things. Is like Europe doesn't want to buy genetically engineered food, and so how does that affect international trade?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in reality, everything is so here's a little bit of a fun fact that maybe not a lot of people know. So, have you ever seen like a field of corn get completely harvested and like go back a while later and see like the field of letters? It looks like, you mean the corn that got like thrown out the back of the combine is completely regrown.
Sometimes, yeah, yeah. I've seen volunteer corn.
So like volunteer corn and all that stuff. Do you know that there's a legal law that stops farmers from letting that get to full maturity and harvesting that?
I wouldn't be surprised because that's patented technology.
No, no, no. It's not that it's patented technology. They deem it as quote unquote unsafe.
Unsafe.
That's what they deem it as.
Unsafe. How? Maybe that's a Georgia thing.
No, this is everywhere.
I don't know. I've
And
seen volunteer
let's
corn get
go.
all the way to maturity here.
But you're not. They're not supposed to actually harvest it because
Oh,
me
they don't
and
harvest it. It's just in the field.
oh, I'm about to say, well, yeah. Well, it can get to full maturity, but you're not supposed to harvest it. Is what I was talking about.
Unsafe. Why is it unsafe?
I don't know.
What? That
I
seems like
don't know
this sounds like a
why they
conspiracy
deem it as
theory here, Nate.
unsafe, but they deem it as unsafe.
Nate, this sounds like a conspiracy theory for those anti-geo people.
I don't know.
All right, hold
It's one
on.
of those
We gotta
things.
Google this now.
You're not supposed to for what because what's it called? The reason I remember is because like down here in Georgia, we harvest something called peanuts.
Yeah,
Everybody knows what peanuts are, I would hope.
bro.
And a lot of farm like peanuts don't take long to mature, really. And so and plus with how our climate is, it stays pretty warm, so they can really grow all year round. If you know, what I mean, we have a good year, like a really hot winter. So we've had those winters where they were
Oh,
and one farmer went to go harvest, like saw his crop, saw a full field of peanuts, pretty much premature, like ready to mature, ready to harvest again. He went to go do it, and then the what's it called? The government came and shut him down.
hmm. Post emerge grass emerge. I don't know. The University of Nebraska has absolutely nothing about it being unsafe. It's just it just counted as a weed.
That's what they deemed it, like what's it called? That's what the government told that one farmer. So that's what I was taking. I guess they said for corn, but I don't have 100%. I've never dealt with corn enough to tell you. Down here in the south, I've dealt with more cotton and peanuts than anything else.
Yeah, they say it's just more of a weed, or like the only time it could be deemed unsafe is because it can transmit disease to the next year of corn. So if you don't destroy it soon enough, it could pass on corn pathogens to your following year. That's from the University of Iowa, or Iowa State. So I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy theory. Maybe that's what they're saying it's unsafe, is because it can cause disease to be passed on to the following year. But I would think the University of Nebraska and Iowa State University, two states that produce ungodly amounts of corn, would know what they're talking about.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I think maybe it's just the disease. Yeah, and they did this they did this study with UMN. Is that University of Minnesota? Well, South Dakota State University. Okay, I know that one. What's UMN? Yeah, no, UMN. Yeah, University of Minnesota. That's what I thought. Yeah. So, four big universities that do a lot of corn. So, I don't know. I think it might just be in reference to, that'd be an interesting thing they could add in Farm Sim, is volunteer corn. Because then you got to buy a specific spray to kill it.
Now, people don't really spray it to kill volunteer corn. They usually just disc it under.
Oh, see up here, the volunteer corn doesn't come up on. See, I mean, it's the south thing. You have to disc it because it's warm enough down there. The corn will come up before you plant. Here, that corn doesn't come up until you've already planted. I think the seasons are just shorter here, and so that stuff already up. So you have to spray it to kill it. I guess you could use a weeder, if you're into organic farming. So
yeah.
could
Well, plus take us for example, like down here in the south. I know of two cornfields near me, and they both were harvested. I want to say in August.
That's a little early for here. It is possible to harvest in August. You have to grow some short season corn, and you have to plant it freaking early. It is possible to harvest in August. They do it for Husker harvest. Actually, no. August is actually pushing it. Never mind. You can do it in September. Beginning of... Yeah. End of August is pushing it. I don't know if that's even possible. I don't think
it's not possible for you guys, but down here in the south, you gotta remember, like, take our temperatures degrees right now. Like, I'm taking a guess you're probably in the 40s.
No.
50s.
Yeah. We're actually going through a cold spell right now. Global warming's kicking our asses right now. We're actually in a cold spell, but it's expected to be back up into the 60s soon. It has been a very warm... We've had thunderstorms. Well, which nobody's bitching about because it's just rain. But we're having thunderstorms in November and October. That's not normal.
Yeah, they're predicting down here in the south for it to get back up to 80 at least twice before Christmas.
Yeah, we won't get that. We're done. It might get up to 70 randomly, but and that'll be a crazy day. But we're pretty much done with warm weather. It'll be 60. Although it'll ride 60s, 50s. Granted, it'll ride 60s, 50s till Thanksgiving. And then it's kind of a crapshoot. November's kind of pretty unpredictable. Sometimes you'll get a really cold Thanksgiving. Other years you'll get a really warm one. It's been pretty cold the last few years for Thanksgiving, but there have been years in the past where it's been very warm. So hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it been 60 degrees on Thanksgiving. It was beautiful. You could go outside and not die. Last year, there was about was it last year? Yeah, that was last year because I brought my telescope out. Yeah. Oh, no, that was. Oh no, that was New Year's. That was New Year's. I had the telescope. Oh, that was a warm New Year's. It was warm. It was sunny and warm. Well, I wouldn't say it was that warm, but my hands are still cold.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So okay, so like Bucks was pretty, I'd say, kind of negative for FS25 until he really starts playing it because he's just like all the bugs, but he says it. But I don't think they just reskinned FS22. I mean, it's still the same game engine, but like I don't think they've reskinned it as much as they have in the past. This year, it seems like they actually did. I mean, they added a lot of crops. He's still upset they haven't added rye and doesn't understand why they don't add rye.
No offense, I don't care about rye. Give me peanuts. Peanuts.
Dude, I would totally go for peanuts. Peanuts would be cool. Dude, I wanted to grow peanuts up here, but I don't know where the hell you get peanut seeds.
I don't think you can get them up there.
I was trying to figure out if I could buy raw peanuts on Amazon because I just need raw peanuts, but everything's roasted or blanched. Blanched is the superior way.
You should be able to buy peanut seeds online.
I've tried. It won't. Hold on. Maybe they fixed it since last time I tried to buy peanuts online. Because back in the day, you could not find peanut seeds.
Research when I get home.
Peanut seeds.
Because
peanut seed. They're pretty low. They're pretty low rating. That's the problem. 120 seed peanuts, non-GMO, fresh garden seeds. Wow, I don't really care if it's non-GMO. I just want peanut seeds. See, all the ratings are very low.
So you can't go off a rating for seeds because people are going to have dramatic differences with their seeds.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's going to be people who know how to do it, and there's going to be people who don't know how to do it. And those people who don't know how to do it are the majority of people, and they're going to rate it low. Or, no offense, take it like you, they're going to put it in the wrong climate, and they're not going, they're going to put it in the wrong part of the world in the wrong climate, and end up having issues with it, and then giving it a bad rating, like, it didn't work. Well, it's not going to work because you did it, you didn't do it in the correct climate and stuff like that for it.
Yeah, I have to, start these fuckers in, December. Right?
No,
when do you guys start planting your peanuts?
Peanuts, we start planting those around the same time you guys start planting corn up there.
April?
Yeah.
When do you harvest?
Now.
Really? What? I don't see a reason why you couldn't grow peanuts here then. Is it just not warm enough all year round? Is it just not warm enough in April like it is down there? Because in April for you guys, it's already 80.
Yeah, it's hot down here in April.
Yeah, April here we're still contending with freezing. Not usually. But actually, no. Yeah, I've seen it snow in April. Never mind. I've seen it snow in May. So no, no. April's still That's probably the problem then. So yeah, I'd have to start it in February then. Inside.
Yeah, you'd have to definitely start them as seedlings and stuff, which they don't grow that fast at the beginning. So you probably get away with it.
I haven't done that much research on peanuts. Maybe I should buy a book. Buy a peanut book. The Peanut Growing Guide. Is this a book? No, this is just this is Tennessee Red. What do you recommend? What brand?
Random what?
Peanuts to grow.
Oh, I don't grow. Listen, I was always the employees for other farmers, so I did what I was told and plant what I was told to plant.
I see. Now you can have your chance to grow your own peanuts.
Now, one thing I will tell you is be
Alfalfa.
very careful about how much water you put in them,
Really?
because this is me being like, you got to know this going into growing peanuts. Not people, many people know this. If peanuts get just sit in water, like you put them in a low spot or anything like that, and they just sit in the water, they will develop black mold.
Oh. Okay.
And there was a case, I want to say back, trying to remember, it'd been a long time. I know it was with Peter Pan, where Peter Pan bought some peanuts and they had black mold in them, and they come to
Oh.
find out it was because they were sitting in water too much.
Okay. So maybe I should grow the peanuts in like the mix they sell for succulents. It's a sandier mix, or I don't know how much or sandier is, but it's supposed to drain well.
Hello.
Hello, I'm still here. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Why is Discord being stupid? I'm going to disconnect and come back.
Hello.
Can you hear me? I'm gonna disconnect real quick. Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
I closed out and came back. Maybe I'll just put the peanuts in like I have some leftover potty mix from having succulents. It's supposed to drain well. So maybe I should put in that.
Wouldn't be the worst idea.
Although my problem is my deck faces the north, not the south, and so there's no freaking sun. So I'd have to grow these at my parents', which means they won't be growing in pots. They will be growing in just the normal Nebraska soil, which is clay, and just likes to have water sit on it. Doesn't drain well.
I mean, make it into a science experiment. I mean, you like doing that? Make it into a science
Dude,
experiment.
I've been wanting to grow peanuts
Plant.
for years. It's been man. I don't. When I was just
I say try to grow some inside, or even try to grow like 2 plants inside, and try to grow like several outside, and see what happens.
yeah. I think I'll have to start them. I'll have to buy them sometime in March or February.
Yeah.
Because they won't. Because we won't have 80-degree weather long enough for them. So they'll have to be inside for a very long time. Otherwise, they will
They
never
can live
ripen.
in 70-degree weather. I can't tell you that. Like, as long as it don't go below like 50 degrees, they're pretty much good.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to grow until like middle of May. Because the nights will dip will dip to 50s in May. Pretty easily. It's cold up here. It's cold.
Down here.
Yeah.
I'll trade you.
I wouldn't. I like it. I like the cold. I know a lot of people bitch about it. I hate the snow as long as I don't have to drive in it. Otherwise, I will take cold over freaking 80-degree weather any day. I hate it when it's stupidly warm. Other than when I'm trying to do some astronomy stuff, I hate it warm. I hate it warm. When we were driving up in the mountains and stuff in the summer, and it's beautiful up there because it's just nice and cool. And you're just like, yes, and it's dry, it's cool and dry, it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But man can only dream about moving to Colorado. I thought about it.
It's a lot worse.
Huh?
I said, yeah, it could be worse.
I've thought about moving to Colorado. They got better job opportunities than they do here. But hard to say. Well, anyways, I think you are home by now. I think I heard you park your truck.
I stopped in town. I was going. Once we got done with this, I was going to go to get something to eat.
Ah, well then I gotta go. I'm going to shoot guns with my friends. So, um, I think we've gotten here. Good hour. Well, thank you for the last podcast together. Been great. You'll have to let me know when if they get those bugs fixed, if it's worth buying the game, or should I wait a week or two after release?
I still say if you pre-order, you're better off. My thing is they'll fix it eventually. If you pre-order, at least you get the extra stuff for free.
Yeah, the MacDon pack free, but that's only if it transfers to Steam. I've heard it should. I don't take the risk that it will.
From what I've seen, you should be able to pre-order on Steam and still get the Matdown pack.
Really? All right. Let's. Well, I'll pull up Steam later. But anyways, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. One more podcast. The whole crew. It's gonna be all four of us. It's gonna be me, Will, Kyle, Phil, whole crew. One last time. Hopefully in person, although I still haven't figured out the logistics for that yet. I honest to God, it'd be just better on Discord, but want to do it in the old basement. We thought it'd be funny. Anyways, and good night.